Mic
Sound check.
test. Good. Okay.
Mic
Malinaw?
test. Yep. It's on to week 3 of the Philippines Football League as teams take it to the pitch for our pre-match walk-in. This is Clara Manzano on call for this match alongside Ryan Phoenix. And we take a look at it, of course, different scenarios, but at the end of the day, league format ito, they gotta get the win.
Well, Loyola FC finding life in the first division. Very difficult. They've not won a game. They haven't scored a single goal so far, but they can take great heart from their opponents today, Garelli, because Garelli are in the same boat. They're winless and scoreless before notching their first victory last week.
So let's see how this one will develop as we'll take it to Megan Cabrera pitch side to give us a report.
These two teams are actually no strangers to one another. They met each other earlier in August 2023 in Copa, where Loyola FC actually took that victory 6-1. However, for Coach Roxy Dorlas of Loyola, he says you can't really compare Copa to now because while they have reinforced their team, Garelli has done the same. So this is a brand new challenge. And while they did start their season with tough losses, sabi nga niya, his players or pros were just really focused on maximizing today's game to really pick up their season. On the other side, we do have Coach Joel Villarino of DB Garelli, who says that his team is motivated than ever to really just create a win streak. So their battle cry for today, to just stay motivated, don't be satisfied with one win, and play better than what they played in their last game. So right now, we are ready to start off this game, and let's see how this plays out.
What's interesting now, Ryan, is we have that pecking order of sorts already. Kahit 2-3 matches played per team.
Well, very early in the season, Loyola in 13th place, Garelli in 11th. But essentially, because Loyola has played one game less. They did have a bye last week. So let's see what they did in that bye week. Because usually, after coming from back-to-back losses like Loyola did, they will use that 1 week to train, to see what their weaknesses are and improve as they try to look for their first goal and first points and first victory in the PFL.
Although they did not want to lose their first 2 games, he wants to lose, right? Coach Roxy did say it was timely na may 1 week break sila. As this match is kicked off already, up front for Garelli, the dynamic duo again, Johnson and Kumoin. These guys were just all over the place last game, but Loyola looked hungry to bounce back. So previous results again, 2 losses for Loyola. And for DB Garelli, 2 losses also, but it was match number 3 for them where they got their breakthrough win.
Funny thing is, Claro, alam mo, these 2 teams, you could say they did not have the luck of the draw in the scheduling of the PFL because the first 2 games nila, ang lalakas ng kalaban kaagad nila.
Both coaches, Coach Joel Villarino and Coach Roxy Dorlas, did say it, of course, in different ways.
Of course, Loyola losing to Cebu before 4-0 was the scoreline. And before losing to Stallion 0-5, Cebu and Stallion, championship contenders of the league. So not the easiest of starts for Loyola. The same with Garelli. They lost 0-7 to Stallion and 0-12. That's a big scoreline to Kaya before they won against Mendiola.
That's right. That is second in terms of the biggest scoreline in PFL history. But it's the bad side of history for a team. But hey, sometimes you do experience these bumps, these holes, but diamonds are made in the rough, as they say.
And you can only learn from these mistakes. And I think if they are being true to themselves, tong Garelli and Loyola, they would have looked at the schedule and said, you know what, these first two games, malakas ang kalaban eh.
Right.
Let's try to get what we can, but really, realistically, you don't look for a win in those first two games, even if publicly they might say so.
That's right. What Coach Joel Villarino pretty much said, right? Because these two coaches did encounter similar scenarios to start the league. Parang naging learning experience that you got that rough baptism of fire or welcome. Para medyo ready na kayo when it's time to face a team who is somewhat in your caliber, we could say, as they play this one to Kobayashi. Assistant coach of Loyola, James Hall, did say Kobayashi has AFC experience with Ceres back in the day, as he just ran into traffic, that brick wall, Johnsburg Sancho. No call there.
And in the background, you might hear some drums, some cheering. Ito yung ever-present cheering squad ng Loyola, the Frente 17.
That's right. They're diehard supporters group. And guess what, actually, this week in their training, Coach Roxy invited the leader of Frente, Kent Garcia, to give the team a pep talk. That's fantastic culture. I love the initiative from Coach Roxy. Siguro dahil returning yung team, bago yung mga players, upstart, just trying to tell them who they're playing for.
That is excellent from Roxy Dorlas, the coach. Of course, he played for Loyola before now being the head coach.
But here's a chance now, Garelli. He could say this on the counter. Shaky defending from Loyola. But they do get the stop nonetheless. Kobayashi over to Charlie Beaton.
That last piece of action, you saw a very careless ball played by Loyola. You cannot make those types of mistakes. Yun yung problema in the first two games ng Loyola. They made mistakes in that area. And kung kalaban mo ay Cebu and Stallion, you're gonna be punished immediately. And not to say Garelli can't do that, but that time na let off ang Loyola.
So it's on to the left now. Keeper off his line. But Loyola are in deep and they eventually cross it. It was headed to the side by Kevin Banagodos. So Banagodos' brother actually plays for Adamson in the UAAP.
Football runs in their blood.
Well said. As here's a chance now. Kobayashi getting it, connecting. He takes it and makes it. And from the referee signals, it's good. That's their first goal of the season here.
And just look at the delight from the Loyola players and their coaching staff. We were asking at the top of coverage when Loyola will score their maiden goal, and we have the answer.
We saw they were working hard, as we see in the replay.
A very careless pass, Claro, from Garelli. And this time Loyola was there to punish. Look at this. It's a very lazy pass back and a very inaccurate one at that. Hindi magkakamali ang Loyola that time around. And just look at the light. You were mentioning this man here, Kobayashi. And hindi ka pinahiya, Claro. He delivered the first goal of Loyola this campaign.
I think I'd be sweating here in our grandstand seat if he did not. But hey, of course, I got the tip from Coach James Hall. He's been there in the training day in, day out. And the assist is courtesy of William Winter, who dons the 29 jersey and is playing up front. He is actually one of the academy players alongside Django Hector. So we do get an academy player of Loyola securing an assist also. And what you gotta love here is that when Loyola's senior team stopped or ceased participating in the PFL competitions, they actually carried on their grassroots program. And I think that's what a lot of people preach. Grassroots, and a number of guys are here now.
Exactly. And for Loyola, not only do they practice it, they practice what they preach. As you will notice later, number 14 si Django Hector ng Loyola. He is actually an academy product of Loyola. Just 16 years old. Oh, he's 17 because he's his birthday today.
Oh, yeah, yes, you were saying earlier.
It's a debut for number 14, si Django Hector.
So will it lead to a birthday win, a birthday assist, or a goal? We will find out. But as we see, Hector is a defender. We may see him be utilized at times in the attack in set pieces, but hey, let's find out. Now it's over at the back. It'll try to sort things out. Teddy Travis is in the middle with experience also. As DB Garelli pick up a foul. Just their attack getting delayed. Now it's over in the further end. Cleared off by Coscolwela. Although we say Loyola are upstart with their return, they do bring in a lot of experienced players as Boris Kante gives this over to Charlie Beaton. It's about 8 minutes already so far and counting in the first half. We apologize for any technical difficulties as Kobayashi will try to orchestrate traffic in the middle. Teddy Travis, his stint in the Copa Paulino Alcantara was with the Pilipinas Dragons as their captain. And just to wrap up, of course, with what we're saying about Loyola before we'll get into detail with Garelli. They do have 3 players who used to play with Stallion FC in the AFC Cup, and they are JV Calocaran, Joel Aristorenas, and Charlie Beaton.
A lot of experience in that Loyola lineup.
Garelli getting those combinations on the right. There was Fonteles de Quiros, one of their foreign players from Brazil. He came on as a sub last game and really did give them creativity in the attack. That clearance came off. Now it's with Beaton. Logarta. So Beaton is a returning Loyola player, we could say, because this is where he started his Philippine football journey. As they're trying to work their way in now, Winter cuts it back. The defense gets it well.
Good run made by Beaton. Winter was aware of where his teammate was running into. Yung pasa lang na-anticipate ng Garelli. But one thing I'd like to mention, Claro, is that sure, these two teams are playing each other, but they do have one common enemy, and it is the heat. Because it's not easy to play at 3:30 kickoffs in April in Manila. That's why napansin mo rin when these players are running, medyo may konting pacing ng konti. And that time, si Henry Winter, when he did get the ball, just turned on the jets and just found his pace. But you will see, at least for the first 30 minutes, I would think, conserving their energy and trying to play it safe.
With what you said with Winter, siguro dahil medyo bata pa rin siya, no? While, yes, it is quite hot, and we are saying it while in the comforts of the grandstand with the shade. These players will echo what you said, Ryan, in the heat. And we are playing on turf, so it somewhat attracts heat. There's the heat coming from the turf, and there is the sun, of course.
I guess you have to be in there to know how hot it is in artificial turf in the afternoon sun. But nonetheless, these are professional players and they've got to play in these conditions. And the conditions apply to both teams as well. So talagang pagalingan na lang on the field.
It's kind of part of the job, right? As it's over with Aristorenas. That combination with Charlie Beaton, you can expect plenty of that. DB Garelli being forced to work hard. But when we look back at their back line, Solomon Obu we saw. Loyola did get past him, and it's not every day you see someone like Solomon Obu get beaten. Because he's been here in the Philippines for a while, and he's part of the football community.
Well, that goal conceded by Garelli, I think that was really an error. Back pass not really finding its target. And Loyola taking advantage.
We see they are favoring the right side of sorts. Loyola continue to be temporarily down to 10 men, as you pointed out, Ryan. Off camera, there's a player. I think he's getting his wound dressed. I think there's some blood, so in that scenario, the wound will have to be covered, of course, for safety.
That's William Winter, their striker.
Who did assist the opening goal, as we said earlier. Garelli are growing in confidence now. They're trying to kill that momentum Loyola set up and will try to roll the dice themselves. Looks like they're quite tentative, but as we said again, with the tough conditions, what is interesting, Ryan, is that they are both in a 4-4-2 formation. So how will we spell the difference here? Parehas naka 4-4-2.
Well, they cancel themselves out if in theory 4-4-2.
So perhaps it could be down to the players, of course, their skills and their work rate. We'll try to thread the needle here.
And you did have a very interesting anecdote on Garelli's formation, as we'll discuss later.
Yes, as here's a chance on the left. They whip in the cross. Coscolwella got his gloves to it, although from our vantage point, we saw it was out already. And it will be a goal kick. I think it went past the line already.
Na-mention mo, Garelli playing 4-4-2, but it wasn't always the case, Claro.
That's correct. Yeah. So they did start out with the 4-1-4-1 formation. On paper, it looks defensive, but can be unleashed on the attack. As Winter still works his way down the right, up against the hard-nosed Solomon Obu, and it's Winter who is adjudged with the foul. So just to finish, of course, yung kwento natin, Ryan, no? They were in a 4-1 formation. Sabi ni Coach Joel Villarino, dahil may holding mid daw, hindi na raw tumatakbo yung mga iba, tumulong sa depensa. So he says, sige, mag 4-4-2 tayo para lahat kayo kailangan tumakbo at dumepensa.
Well, that time around, their 4-4-2 worked to perfection as they were able to thwart yung atake ni William Winter.
As this attack here was eventually stopped, mainly traffic from left to right. Beaton playing narrow, and it got intercepted. And it's over now with Johnson.
Well, he timed his run perfectly, Johnson.
Johnson and Kumoin. These guys were just giving us track and field like sprints on the counter attack. So that is something you could look forward to for Garelli. And they win this free kick here. Here's the reason.
Si Hector committing a foul. Such a big moment for this man here.
As you said, yes, earlier. Birthday, pro team start.
Debut.
Wow, all wrapped together. Kulang na lang yung win, we could say, right? So we were naming everything, whether it be a goal or what, but he's a defender. Maybe the highest likely could be a clean sheet, but hey, this one up for grabs. As we have two men standing up to the plate, and it's driven in. Coscolwella got this one. It was well placed by James Dorrego. Kumoin. Well, there's a whistle. That's a foul from against Garelli from the looks of it, as we will have our cooling break. We are in the 15th minute. We do apologize if we have any technical difficulties as we speak, as we'll just be sorting out some issues. But there's a look again. It's Hector. And I think